Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
And my name is Greg Russ. Oh no. You can't log into Shopify.
I can't log in. I have someone asking about where their order is and if they even ordered something because they're not even sure. And I have to look them up by their email, but I can't.
What did they order? What are you selling?
I'm doing
Crafts?
customer service for Huff and Pepper.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about it actually being tied to work.
Oh, yeah.
I thought of you owning a Etsy store. Selling
Ooh, an Etsy store.
weird little crafts. Things made out of those puff balls and googly eyes and popsicle sticks.
Yeah. It's, I throw glue. I just like randomly put glue all over a paper and then I just throw macaroni at it.
I mean, that's
I
art.
call it expressionism.
That's art. I see the videos of the violent art videos where somebody takes a spray paint, and they put it up to a canvas and they smash it with a hammer as violently as they can, and it sprays everywhere, and they toss buckets of paint, but it's with such force, like there's real anger behind it. It's cool.
It sounds that I know. I don't know whether you're supposed to be making a joke, but I think that sounds kind of cool. I'm explaining what I've seen. If it's a joke or not, I guess is up to you to decide. Well, I just mean, like, are you talking about it because that's dumb, or do you think that that's okay? Like, it's kind of neat.
I guess my stance is it's a bit dumb.
Okay.
I don't know. That kind of painting in general doesn't do much for me. And I think the theatrics behind it, where the person's really angry. It reminds me of the old, I can't remember if it was How To Basics. And there were videos in the vein of how-to videos, but it was a guy just doing weird shit, like smashing eggs on top of CDs and putting raw meat on top of that and pounding it down with his fist. And there was a violence to the movement and an anger. And I was like, man, this is pretty aggressive shit. And those painting videos remind me of the How To Basic guy, which now everyone does it. Now you come across the cooking videos that are really just weird. And I think How To Basic did this first.
I guess that makes sense. I just think, well, we've talked about art being subjective and weird, because I wouldn't even consider that painting.
True.
I would consider it like a almost a, I don't know, something. The medium is paint.
What would you consider it? Like, I don't disagree that it's not
I
painting.
don't know, closer to like sculpture or something.
Nah, there's nothing sculpting about it. You could just say it's sort of a craft. I don't.
Yeah.
Arts and crafts time. What are those puff balls even called?
Cotton ball? No. Puff balls. Craft balls?
Pom-poms.
Pom-poms, duh. But that's such a wide range, because a pom-pom can also be like those like furry things that you can add to the top of a crocheted hat.
True.
And those are furry and different.
But this is exactly what I was thinking about. I did the search puff balls for arts and crafts. And of course,
everything that shows up is what you thought.
Exactly what the googly eyes put on them. These little creatures. What are they actually used for? I guess that's it. To make googly-eyed creatures.
No, you put them, you do things with them.
What? What else?
I
put them on a sweatshirt for my daughter. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They really are just used to be stuck to. I mean, you could put them on a piece of paper with glue, and you could make like a texture of an animal or something.
With googly eyes?
Yeah. Wait, googly eyes?
Yeah, you said you can make an animal, and I said.
Oh, I thought you meant the
eyes.
puff balls. The pom-poms. I thought you meant the pom-poms.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry. I got confused.
I thought you meant the pom-poms were only used to make googly-eyed creatures.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And I was saying the pom-poms can be used to be glued to a piece of paper to make a texture.
Yes, and then you said like an animal, and then I said with googly eyes.
Oh, see, when you said with googly eyes, I thought that you thought I meant gluing googly eyes to a creature to make a texture.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, my bad.
See, what are pom-poms used for? Cheerleading. No, I'm not talking about those.
Oh, yeah, not those.
Children's toys. Pom-poms are common features on the handlebars of children's bicycles and tricycles. No, not talking about that kind.
No, not those either.
Early childhood skills. Pom-poms can help children practice sorting, counting, color recognition, and fine motor abilities. Sure.
Oh, yeah, because you have to like pick them up out of a thing and then they have to use their little fingers to grasp it. That's cute.
But is that what they were originally invented for? I don't think so. What were they made for? That's what I want to get to. Why did they ever come into existence? Classroom activities used for voting, fine motor practice, arts and crafts, same thing. Whiteboard erasers. Yeah, okay, shut up. They can be glued to the whiteboard marker lids to be used as erasers. Life hack, fine. But I doubt that's why they were invented. Hats. That's what you're talking about. Different type. Decor. Mm-hmm. It can be used in traditional dress, casual clothing, and decor. I have to think that they were some fashion thing to begin
Are you looking
with.
at the colorful history of pom-pom?
No, I'm embarrassed to say this, but it was the AI overview that I shouldn't read and I shouldn't trust.
Okay, the English word pom-pom came about in the 18th century from the French word pompon, like tampon, which referred to a small decorative ball made of fur, feathers, ribbon, wool, or string. During the 18th century, military regiments across Europe caught sight of the and so it was just a way to like, look at me, I have a pom-pom. Oh, on the top of those like Scottish hats.
Yeah, I guess those are about the same size as the ones we're talking about.
Yeah. We can't say for sure who the first person to make and attach a fuzzy ball to their clothing was, but the earliest instance we know of dates back roughly to 1,000 years in 1904 in 1904 on a Swedish farm. A statue of a Viking god Frey was found. The statue featured a tall hat or helmet with what appears to be a round pom-pom at the top. That dates back the oldest known use of the pom-pom between 800 and 1066. Now that you know a little more about pom-pom, bring all that ornamental history into your home classroom. Okay.
So it really took off after 800.
I guess so. God, there's a picture of Napoleon, like with a little pom-pom or something. He looks like a right idiot. He always has like an egg body. You know, like he's always like a very barrel.
And these are paintings, so they're supposed to be flattering.
Yeah, not even. I don't feel like even in paintings or images, he's like looking good.
He's a pom pom.
He is a pom pom. He's a pom pom. Pom pom, pom pom pom. Remember that Iggy Azalea thing where she's like rapping?
No, I don't.
She was like,
I don't.
Pom pom.
I don't think I want to watch.
Tie your marks.
I don't think I want to watch Iggy Azalea rap. I don't think I want to watch what's her name in Wicked. I don't think I care about any of these people.
I know, but this Iggy Azalea thing is funny because she does this weird freestyle.
Forcing me to listen to it.
I feel fucking hot.
Come on, get the pom pom.
Finish line with fire marks. When the relay starts to run away train. Master,
Here it comes.
When is it?
Sorry.
Is it over? Is it finished?
Pom pom. I thought that she said pom pom in there somewhere. Pom pom.
After a night of drinking, it's not really what you want to hear.
Oh. You went out. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to actually apologize.
I would not
I'm
have
not that,
subjected
I'm
you
not
to
that
that.
weak and pathetic. I'm like, oh, I don't even feel terribly. I just don't feel mentally clear at this point and easily annoyed. Like physically, I feel fine. When I drink now, I just wake up in the middle of the night at some point. I know it's going to happen. My heart's going to be pounding and I'm going to be parched. But then I'm so tired. I'm in that state where the glass of water is sitting on the table next to the bed, but it seems like the biggest chore in the world to sit up and drink it.
I know.
I laid there. I didn't even drink that much. And it was a
What'd you
Guinness, which is like 4.2% alcohol or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't drink that much at all anymore.
Me either.
No.
Yeah, my body was betraying me. Like, I was having what I think was a histamine response. So, like, my histamine has been, like, overreacting. And I was getting, like, sinus infections. I was getting, I was feeling really, like, terrible the next day after not drinking much. But, like, really terrible. Like, diarrhea and tired and just, like, my nose would be stuffy. And then I was at the beach and the sun was giving me hives. Like, everything was bothering me. So I've pretty much not been drinking. I've had like a couple of drinks, but it's not like it was before. And yeah, it's been real annoying.
Are you not making at-home margaritas?
No, it's
with
so
that
sad.
expensive tequila?
Oh, delicious. I miss it. What I miss the most is beer. I miss my wheat beers. They're just so beautiful and delicious. Ugh.
What? It's the Mungo Jerry Manjaro.
I don't know. It might be. But how long does that take? Because I've been on it for a long time.
Did you say with antidepressants you wouldn't get that drunk? Or it altered the drunken state?
What do you mean?
I thought you said at some point by, you taking antidepressants that you can't get drunk like you used to.
Oh, that was like that at first.
No, it evened out.
Yeah, it evened out.
So
Yeah, I couldn't get drunk. I wasn't feeling anything.
so drunkenness has come back.
Thank God. But now I can't do it. My friend. It really does feel like a friend is gone. I miss you. Just especially like the way I would drink before, where it was like it would be fun to get a little drunk. And now I can't do that. And I don't really it doesn't feel good. I'm not into it. It's like smoking weed was for me. It like stopped getting me high. Like I just felt bad. I just felt like I'll get a headache kind of right away. But you drink through that. And you take some ibuprofen because you're like, I want to get a little something. And yeah, my body's like, hey, don't do this to me, please. And I say, get out of here. I'm trying to have fun. Body. But then my body won because I don't feel like that anymore. And so it's working. The not drinking, the not poisoning myself.
You just weigh the
really
positives.
sad.
Yeah, you weigh the positives and negatives. And there were always negatives involved with drinking, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're younger, it's like, okay, this
Well, they're
outweighs.
negligible, right? Like you could say, well, I'm having a good enough time where this amount of hangover that I'm sort of conditioned to or used to is fine. But when it's more
pretty
than
insane.
a hangover,
It was pretty insane that the hangovers I would have when I was younger.
Yeah.
And thinking, this is fine. It's worth it. Sure, there was a few instances where it was so bad, you utter, I'm never drinking again.
I know. Please, I'm never doing this again.
And then, that night, you're back at it. I just don't, I don't even want to risk getting to that point now. And I know some of it's because the recovery is slower.
Yeah.
But also my mindset has just changed. It's like, the trade-off getting drunk is now not worth feeling like that. It's like, I have zero desire to feel like absolute shit.
I know.
And I used to look for like the beers with the high alcohol content. When
I
you go
know.
out,
That
and
was like, yes.
now I avoid them. I was like, oh, that.
12.5, bring it on.
Well, it's even in the sixes now. It's like, oh, that's got like 6.7. No thanks.
Yeah.
Bring me something, because I still want to hang out. Like last night, I went out with my friend Matt, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And it's nice to sit and drink and catch up.
Yeah.
And you can sit and not drink or drink water and catch up. But I still like having booze in front of me.
Yeah.
So if I'm drinking 6.7%, it's like, I'm going to have 2 and that'll be it. So give me Guinness and I can at least squeeze in an extra one. It's pathetic.
How many did you have?
It's pathetic. I ended up having 4. I had 3, and then Matt was going to get another one because he drinks faster. And that guy was willing also just to sit and talk.
Sure.
I went to the bathroom, and I came back, and there was a 4th one there. And he didn't force it on me, but the bartender gave him a free round. So
Oh, that's nice.
he said the bartender just brought 2, and he didn't want to, or he saw him pouring it, but he didn't want to yell at him not to pour it. So I ended up drinking the 4th one.
And really, I mean, Guinness is lower, but I don't think it's like it's that much lower. Do you think it's more like 3.5 beers
like
instead of 4?
I mean, if you're doing 6, let's say 7%, and Guinness is 4, just for the sake of rounding. It's not quite that simple, but so at a 7% beer, you're almost drinking. You're not drinking 2 Guinnesses quite, but 1 point. I don't know, 6.666, 6.66666. Is that right? And it's probably a little higher than that. But
And if you think about drinking a can of beer versus a pint of Guinness, unless you order pints of like Bud Light.
Christina wants to go out and get drinks, and I feel bad because I really, like, even last night I didn't necessarily feel like it, but because Matt
It
lives
goes
in
with the occasion.
Matt lives in Philadelphia and he's here. I was like, all right. And I've mentioned this a million times. I don't like going to restaurants and eating. So I don't want to go have dinner. I'm sure you could walk around, I guess, or something. It was a nice night, but so yes, it goes with the occasion. And poor Christina, because I see her every day. It's like the occasion's not special enough. No, I mean, we'll go out every once in a while, but it just, even then when I get back, like I'll fall asleep earlier than I want, and then you wake up and you feel like shit. So
just don't order drinks. Get like a seltzer water and put a lime in it so you feel like you're drinking.
So they can throw it in my face like Coyote Ugly. Water.
Oh, yeah. So, hey guys, this guy ordered water.
Spray them in the face. That's cool. Man, Coyote Ugly.
I love that movie. It's so stupid. John Goodman's best work.
I always like John Goodman.
Me too. He's the best.
But Coyote Ugly. I don't even think I had seen the movie before we started going to the bar in Atlanta when it opened for 96 Rock.
Yeah, that was fun. Only when you're drunk.
Yeah, when you're underage and going to Coyote Ugly because you're working for the radio station.
Get me a drink.
I remember the woman who ran it because all the bartenders were young, and the woman who ran it seemed like, the motherly figure.
She was like the matron.
Yeah,
Like what is the older lady at like a whorehouse?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that.
The Mamacita.
Yeah.
She was probably 32 though. She seemed so old to me. I was like, yeah, the lady who runs this place, that old woman.
Yeah.
The 32-year-old. She was nice. I liked her. And they used to hand out the cards, the girls' pictures, like the ones who worked there.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. They had they all had their own cards, and they'd stand there and they'd be posing. I mean, a lot of marketing went into that place. Mm-hmm. They were really pushing it. And I guess it did well for a bit. Did you find it? I hear you typing. Did you find it?
No, I didn't find it.
Wait, oh, you're doing your customer service?
No,
Jesus fucking Christ.
not doing customer service.
You're doing customer service while we record the podcast.
I'm not. I'm looking at a consent form that I'm supposed to sign, and I was just putting my name in it.
The podcast that is now just two people blabbing about bullshit.
Do you want me to Google Coyote Ugly?
Hey, I thought you were looking up the woman who runs the brothel.
Oh, I don't know, because she's not. It wasn't the same person for every bar. It was like franchised, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just the term that you couldn't figure out. I thought that's what you were looking up.
Oh, lady who runs whorehouse.
How dare you?
Oh, just a madam.
Oh, that's boring.
Brothel keeper.
That was anticlimactic.
I know. I really thought it was something else, like mama something. Lady pimps and media madams. Lady pimp.
What is this? Who is? Leave me alone. Stop slacking me. See? It's annoying.
Slack.
Pause notifications.
Pause them.
The person slacking me probably saw that I switched to. I turned to switch my notifications off. It's like, leave me alone.
Oh.
Doing important.
They were slacking you directly?
Yeah, I mean, it is work hours. Mm-hmm. It's 10:57 a.m. Who's counting hours
Thursday.
anyway? You have a job to do. Any manager that's counting
know.
hours is a fucking piece of shit.
I
Sure,
really hate that argument about coming back to work. You should be firing people if they are sucking at their job because they work from home or because of whatever. But don't make the fucking rule about coming back to work because, like, collaboration in person. Shut up.
Look, there are people, there are board members, there are CEOs, people who don't go to the office except for once every 3 months, who, for whatever reason, don't
Fuck
like
them,
it.
dude.
To me, it's a power and a control thing. It's like, hey, wait a second. We are the ones who have the power, and these people are getting to live the lives we live, where we gallivant and
Yeah, that has to be special for us.
don't show up to the office. Get them back to the office where they belong so that their lives are consumed by sitting. I mean, hell, a cubicle these days would be a welcome sight because these open floor plans are god awful. They're more aesthetically appeasing and they don't look as depressing, but working in an open floor plan sucks. There is nothing sadder than going and seeing just an office of cubicles. I get that visually. It's like, oh, this is depressing.
It does. Yeah, it is. And especially, do you mean now like that there's nobody there?
Well, I just mean in general.
Okay, in general.
I found cubicles to be more depressing, but after working in open floor plans, I would beg for a cubicle if I had to go back to the office to at least get a bit of privacy.
Yeah.
But sure, these days when nobody's there, all offices look depressing. The radio station WSB is one of the saddest places I've seen.
It's hard because we're not always there during work hours, but even when we are there, it still seems real empty.
It's a lot of space, and you can imagine the time that the newsroom was bustling with people running around with stories and typing their stories and reading their stories, and now there's two people sitting there and a TV that's on, which reminds me of an apartment late at night where a person's passed out and the TV's still glowing. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, why is this TV on? At least in that circumstance, I can envision the person watching it and falling asleep, but this is just a TV to relay that there's some sort of human existence still in this place. It's not really making up for the lack of bodies. This is depressing. It doesn't mean that I think that's also a different thing. It's not people working remotely. I think that's more commentary on radio just not having jobs anymore.
Right.
So it's a bit different because I don't think that people should have to go back to the office. I think that there are circumstances. Yesterday I was having a conversation with people who, if we were at the office, I would be very close to, and it was getting annoying. I mean, like physically close. So I could just say, hey, I just heard this. Is this true? But instead, having a bunch of different Slack conversations where things are getting lost in the discussion. So there are certain instances where I think being around people would be helpful, but this whole you need to be there to collaborate. Like people are sitting around in a writer's room just tossing ideas about and
That makes sense. Like there are times when that needs to be done, but
yeah, but you can
not 3 days a week for these types of corporate jobs where you're just like handling emails. And also the Slack thing, yeah, stuff does get lost. So sometimes you have to call them and speak to them on the phone. There's no difference between that and going in person.
You huddle. Excuse
Shut
me.
up.
You use Slack and you huddle. That's what it is. You don't use the
huddle.
phone.
Yeah.
You have a quick sec for a huddle.
Yeah.
I've created a list. I'm going to share that with you. We've got project dates in there.
You know, they've got these leases. Commercial real estate leases are long term. And to me, it doesn't make a difference. Like you're paying for it or you're not paying for it. If people are productive at home and the company's doing well and you're making the money you need to make, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Like people being at the office because you pay the lease doesn't really make sense. And when the lease is up, then you can get rid of it or you can downsize.
Yeah. Downsize. It's fine. That's okay. It doesn't mean that anything has failed. That's the thing. Renegotiate with your landlord and, you know, I guess if they don't have the money, but then I guess just keep it going, you know, keep the office going just like you would if they were in the office, you know, if you make them go back, you know, pay out the rest of your lease or like I said, renegotiate it to like 3 more years instead of 10 more years because those corporate leases are really long and weird. And then, downsize. Say, hey, we're going to not have this office.
There's some people who can't get past you work 40 hours a week, at least.
Yeah.
I had interviews in the past where people would say, you know, this isn't a 40-hour-a-week job, right? Meaning you better be prepared to work more. And I said something along the lines because I was young and desperate for the job. Yeah, I know that. This isn't like a factory where the whistle blows and we all go home at 5 o'clock. They ate that shit up. Then I got the job and I absolutely hated it. And I certainly didn't work more than 40 hours a week. I ended up, that was the job. So this was the radio station. I was on the air here in New York, but I was only on weekends. And they had a promotions coordinator position open up. And I think I brought this up to you before. It paid $28,000 a year. It's like, what the fuck? Like I doubled that salary just doing an air shift on the weekend. So that's why I could make it work. But somebody would take that job otherwise, and that would be their only job, and they're supposed to survive in New York on that. Fuck you for offering it. And yes, I know that somebody will take it, but you're really leaning into the fact that people are desperate for work, and it's a bit gross, and you should be ashamed of yourself for doing it. But that's what they like to say. You don't want it? Don't take it. Somebody else will. Yeah, no shit, somebody else will. But how much turnover are you going to have? What kind of work are you going to get out of that person? Because you do get what you pay for. And if you pay someone $28,000 a year and you expect them to work 60 hours a week and put up with a bullshit boss, it ain't going to last long. So good luck. Enjoy hiring people constantly. And that's what happened. You know, that was the job that I left one day to go see Neil deGrasse Tyson speak before he was insufferable. Right. And I got off the train and I had a text message on my flip phone from my boss. And she said, "Where did you go?" And that's when I decided, because I was fed up with the job and how god awful it was, that I was going to quit. And I was really taking a risk because I was still on the air at the radio station. So I had more to lose, but I was also cocky. And I thought to myself, I can quit this job, but keep my other job. So I texted back, I went to see Neil deGrasse Tyson speak, and quite frankly, it's more important than this job.
Ooh! I forgot that that's what you said.
That was that. And the funny thing is, they needed somebody to do the job. And I was able to work the deal where I moved to the web department and started doing video. So I didn't get fired. I didn't really get punished. And they asked me to stay in that job for an additional month or maybe it was 2 months until they could find somebody else. So it was an instance where I took a risk, and they didn't hold the best hand, and I got what I wanted out of them.
But that's crazy. Where did you go? Like, what are you, my mom?
Yeah. It's
I
like,
left.
You need to check in with me when you leave. Fuck you. I'm not
No, I
checking in with
don't.
anyone.
No.
I used to get to work like 10 minutes late, and it was that kind of manager. It's like, you're late. So I'd crawl on the ground out of sight to my desk.
Where was this?
This was at the radio station.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, her office could see out into
Oh, fuck her, dude.
the area.
Would you have really gotten in trouble?
She was a difficult person.
God.
Like, she would speak down to me, and it wasn't quite yelling, but it's approaching yelling. And I'm the kind of person that's like, well, whatever. I put up with things until you push me too far. And like, there was one day I snapped back at her, and God, all hell broke loose at that point. And then I got reported by her. I was like, you fucking treat me like this constantly.
Whoa. She reported you?
Yeah, but other people had issues with her, so it didn't really go anywhere.
Oh, good.
I also didn't say anything nasty. I just like raised my voice. It's not like I threw just empty insults at her. They wouldn't have
And
been
if you're
empty.
going to, I mean, there is something to be said for like matching energy. Like you're yelling at me. And you should not be yelling at me. We are in a work environment.
Exactly. People love it though. There are people in the work environment who love being bosses because they love the power dynamic. And to me, yes, you need to have people who can make decisions and dictate what other people are going to do. You don't need to be a jerk about it. But the power structure is needed, but it's also fucking made up. It's fake. Like, it's just something that we all say, all right, this is needed. So there's a responsibility to me that comes along with that. I don't like leaning into it and saying, I've got power over you. It's like, I've got power over you, and I will be responsible and thoughtful about this.
Yeah.
But these CEOs, like you were saying, time to get back to the office. And if you don't like it, you can quit. Why? Because you're counting the fucking hours. At the end of the day, professionals are paid to do a job. If they do their job well, if everything they have to do is done on time, what the fuck do you care how long it takes when they do it?
They don't like these older men, I'm going to say, mostly.
How dare you?
These older people, they don't understand Slack. They're like, I don't know what that is, and I don't want to learn something new. I want to be able to walk around, and I want to find you in your cube, and I want to talk to you. I want to find you in your office, and I want to talk to you in person. I get on the, I get on these Google Meet, and my microphone doesn't work, and I don't know how to do it.
And some of it. I think the CEO that you hate, the Starbucks CEO, that guy's, he knows how to use Slack. He's not, some Luddite.
Yeah.
He's just, and it is hypocritical since he doesn't live near the office and he takes his private jet and travels a few days a week, which is insane. And I guess that's what he's leading. I travel really far to be here. Yeah. So if you only have to travel 30 minutes, you've got no excuse. I get on a plane. I get on a plane to be here. There's just this idea, and I don't know why or where it comes. And I'm not saying there aren't industries and certain professions where maybe it is hurting things with people not being in person. But for the most part, like some Amazon corporate, you're going to tell me the people who work at Amazon can't do their jobs remotely. Amazon's making more money than it's ever fucking made. So what are you seeing? Like if profits started falling and things were looking bad, then I get it. You dig into it and you're like, well, I think that people need to be at work and in the office, but it just feels like an arbitrary thing. That's the way it used to be. And we need to get back to that.
This is the way that I feel comfortable. And just because things have changed in the world doesn't mean that I want things to change, because change is scary because I'm an old idiot.
And it's the old argument. If you don't want to do this, leave. Somebody else will want to do it.
Yeah, great.
if you're looking at the people who work for you and they're good at their jobs, you shouldn't be driving them
Yeah.
out for something like that. Like giving up people who actually, because finding people who are good at their jobs sucks. Like it's difficult. And when you find someone that, to me as a manager, I appreciate the people. Like I don't want to walk around and look over their shoulder and say, "What are you doing? Are you on top of things?" People who make my life easier are people I really appreciate, and people can make my life easier by doing their jobs. So I don't have to worry when I assign something and they're on it. And I think, whatever, it's going to get done.
Yeah, I checked in with one of the managers at the restaurant where I host trivia on Wednesdays, and I was just like, hey, just wanted to see what's like how everything's going, if there's any talk, about my trivia or the nights that I host or whatever. And she was like, nope, everything's good. I was like, okay, so like nothing. And she was like, yep, good. No news is good news. I was like, okay, cool. Just wanted to check because it's been a year, So yeah, it was the same thing. It was like, everything's cool. Just chill. Okay.
Were you hoping for something else though? Like, oh yeah, everyone talks about it. They love it. The owner says this is the greatest thing. You just get
I was feeling proud that night because it's been real slow on Wednesdays because it's in a place by the water. And so because it's been so nice out and it's like the last couple of nice nights we're going to have before it starts to get too cold at night. So everyone's at the dock bars. So people aren't coming out to this particular place unless it's like rainy or it's cold or, stuff like that. So it's been a little slow. And I got these 3 guys that just came in for a beer. They ended up staying for the whole thing, and they made friends with like the table next to them, and like the guy bought them shots and stuff. So I was just like, oh, cool. I kind of made money happen here, which was nice. So it just made me think, I wonder if since it has been slow, if they've noticed that or if that's a problem. And, I just wanted to check in, so yeah, I guess it would have been cool to have heard like, yeah, our sales are up on this one, but I wasn't needing that.
I feel like, the really cocky Quizmasters, the really cocky Quizmasters. I think I said cockia.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
The very cocky Quizmasters like to think they're the draw. And if people don't come out, they go home at night and they look in the mirror and they berate themselves. You fucking idiot. You can't even get people to come out and play your game. You fucking loser.
Oh.
And then they have to pump themselves back up. But I'm the Quizmaster. Fuck you, Quizmaster. You can't even get 6 people to play. Fuck you, I'm the Quizmaster.
I'm the Quizmaster.
The loser. No, I'm the Quizmaster. And then they've got their confidence back for another week.
People do love my trivia. Just saying. They love me. I got tipped last night.
So weird.
And I was like, no. And they're like, here, take it.
How much?
$20.
Wow.
Somebody tried to tip me last week too. And I was like, no, I didn't take it. And he took it back. And then I was kind of disappointed. I was like, hey.
It's the right.
Okay, it's good.
It's the right thing to reject it though.
Yeah, for sure.
People, if they offer it, sure, I get it. But I wouldn't want it to become a standard thing where you're expected to tip your Quizmaster.
Oh, no, it was sweet of him to do. And I hope that me rejecting it wasn't like a rejection of his gesture. It was more, and I don't think it was because he kept it, But yeah, I don't need to be tipped. But I appreciate him thinking, hey, I want to show my appreciation monetarily, which is nice.
Do you think there are people putting tip jars out who host trivia?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Oh my God, no. I wouldn't go to that one. I'd never go back.
Well, so, excuse me. There's a team that's been coming for almost a year, maybe a little less than a year. And they live right down the street and they're in and out of this place. And like the dude built a lot of the stuff it's a real local little community. So everybody knows each other. But anyway, they were on their way home one night and saw that it was really busy, and she just wanted to stop in for a beer, and then they saw that it was trivia, and the guy was like, oh no, like I don't want to stay for trivia, it's gonna be stupid. And she was like, let's just stay for one beer or whatever, I want to play. And so they stayed, and they've been coming ever since. And like she told me it was because your trivia is fun. I was like, cool. Because I'm a little bit of the opposite of you, where it's like I feel like, yeah, I'm good at stuff, and I like what I do, and I think I'm fun, and and
how dare you?
I know.
I think I'm good at my job. I have more confidence than I've ever had, and it's mostly because I realize how stupid everyone else is. I'm like, my God, I've been beating myself up over all of, my inadequacies and
That's true.
shortcomings, but
Yeah.
I see how everyone else is, and they're fucking morons. Like, I've got 6 legs up on them.
6 legs up. No, you're right, because thinking about my ability to do customer service and how good I am at it, and then to see other people's version of giving customer service, you're like, ugh. But anyway, so but then when it's acknowledged, my sort of my self-pride, when it's acknowledged, it validates it to me, because it's like, oh, of course I like my stuff. Like I like my stuff, but I'm me. And so I don't count, but if somebody, that gives you a little insight into my brain, I guess. But, yeah, when somebody acknowledges it, it validates it, it's like, oh, it is real. Okay, cool.
I don't know. If you had a bit of doubt, though, maybe you put a little more effort into the trivia. You'd start
Well,
curating playlists and
I make playlists.
coming up with
made
your
a
own
new,
questions, not using the service.
Oh, no, it's better to use the service. They're vetted questions and they're guaranteed. If I did the trivia, I'd fuck up like, oh, I didn't know that was like I made up I didn't make it up, but I'm running out of tiebreaker questions. So if two teams get the same score and they're tied for second and third, then I have to come up with a tiebreaker question. And I have a list of tiebreaker questions that I've gotten from this service, but I'm kind of running out of them. So I thought of my own, and I was like, what's the distance from the Earth to the sun in miles?
No, it changes.
Well, yeah, there's that. And then both of the teams knew it was like 93 million miles. I was like, shit. I was like, you guys, can you be more specific? And the one guy worked for NASA, and he was like, what do you mean? He's like, it changes. I was like, I know. Okay. Can you just go like above or below? Like what you think it is? So that's the kind of, I would fuck up if I made my own questions. But I'm making I'm doing a Halloween thing next week. I made up new answer sheets that have like Halloween themes, and I'm going to get little candy bags for everybody.
So what does that mean? You got like construction paper pumpkins?
Oh, I'm going to get pom-poms. I'm going to have so many glued on pom-poms.
Well, you should.
I'm going to glue pom-poms to my body, and I'm just going to be pom-pom. Pom-pom Pam. Pom-pom Pam.
I like the idea that there's a pom-pom factory out there. Somebody works at the pom-pom factory.
Oh my God.
And I don't know how fun it is. It's probably in China, and the people.
I was just going to say, the people that work there have a thing called pom-pom lung.
They
where they breathe in the little fibers.
And they have to be there 5 days
But when they
a week.
cough, a little like those like the little bits of pom-pom come out.
Like a hairball.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to be there. I was going to say 5 days a week. It's probably 7 days a week, 15 hours a day.
Yeah. And they make like 50 cents.
That's what Amazon's going to use. You could be worse. You could be working at the pom-pom factory 7 days a week.
Those people have to go in to the office.
Yeah, if you don't like it, if 5 days a week, 8 hours a day isn't good enough for you, if it's too much, go to the pom-pom factory.
Yeah, you're more than
fuckers.
welcome to work at the pom-pom factory, Pam.
I mean, even where I work, there is a 3-day-a-week mandate. I think people kind of just laughed at it. There was
that's the thing. That's the thing. I would be like, again, talking about trivia, there were some like new rules that one of the restaurants on the Monday restaurant started where like you can only have 8 people per team, and blah blah blah, and the people that had the big teams were freaking out, and I was like, just make your reservation for 8 and then come in and have 9 people. Who cares? And just like wait it out, guys. Just chill. That's how I would have been with this like 3 days a week. I'd be all up in arms about it, but then I'd be like, I'll just not do that.
I had the mandate from my manager that we didn't have to go in. My manager lives in Rhode Island.
Uh-huh.
But even outside of that, post-production, because, again, open floor plans, they don't even have the computers that are needed for people to do their work. So if my team can't go in, I don't have to go in. But across the board, they put this 3 days a week thing in. It was supposed to be like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you can choose your third day. At first, people seem to be going in. Now, granted, I don't go in much. And it's only one stop away on the train. I should go in. I do think there is something to be said about getting out of the house. Like just being here every day. And
if it works for you and you want to go in, then do that. But the idea of it be like it should be that it's working for you. So do that. If it's not working for you and the person above you says, well, you have to anyway. And it's like, but why? And somebody says, well, because like, no, then no. Give me a reason why and I'll do it. But as of right now, it does not work for me. So I'm not doing it.
Yeah. The moment they say you have to,
right.
I'm going to be I'm the type of person. No, how dare you? They did say that it would come up in your reviews if you weren't going on, and it could have an effect on your advancement. And it's like, wow, you're really taking it. But that was like said once, and I haven't heard anything about it again.
Yeah.
And I thought, so how are you going to know? You're tracking people swiping in, huh? That's what you're doing, which to me just feels so petty.
Yeah, and who's in charge of that? Did you hire someone new to like track that and keep a spreadsheet of who's there and when and how long?
I was like, what if I walked in with someone? What if I didn't swipe, but I was, somebody else was in front of me? Huh? What are you going to do?
Are you watching the cameras? Again, did you hire someone to do this? Did you hire a PI? Like, chill.
My plan was, since I am so close, if it got to the point where I had to go in and we're tracking the swiping, I would just take the train one stop, swipe, and go home.
Yeah, you should get your friend from Rhode Island and get their card from them. Just swipe them in for you.
People are apparently doing that, though. That's a thing where people show up, swipe, have a coffee, go home. So I don't know if you have to swipe out now, because I've read that companies are battling that, where you need to be here at least 8 hours. We know what you're doing. Instead of just coming up with a solution that works for everyone.
Right, no.
We know your dumb little tricks. You think you're smarter than us?
Again, it's that strange power. At that point, it's a power thing. I think, there was a long time for society where we, not us, because we didn't grow up in this time, but we were taught as a society to just like follow the rules and you're good. Follow the rules. Why aren't you following the rules? That's bad, right? And that's the generation that is in upper management that's making these rules. And it's like, but how dare you not just follow the rules? And then
the rules had different meaning before. Mm-hmm. You couldn't do work remotely. It wasn't so easy to communicate with people. You had to be at the office. I guess in the period of telephones, you could have been at home and had telephone conversations all day. But with video conferencing, things like Slack, everything. Not everything. There are certain things that get you to be at the office for, but most things being something that is capable for you to do at home. And it was a very weird sentence that I couldn't form properly.
it's the drinking.
I was like, what am I? Why can't I put this very simple sentence together? What the fuck is going on? But the rules in the past used to be in place because, that was what was needed. Now that you can do things outside of that, you should just change the rules.
Right.
But they like to force just the old rules arbitrarily. And I know there's some arguments to be made, and we've done the studies, and I'm like, whatever. You can come up with any fucking conclusion you want. This isn't scientific research. You can find any goddamn trend you want in the company you hire to do a study that you want a very specific thing out of.
And they can just say, studies show that They can just say that. And what are you going to do? So, okay, this is the thing. They say that, right? And you say, well, what's the study? And they say, what? Do they really have a study?
I'm sure there's things out there. I haven't really read into it, but I am sure there are things that show productivity is up 3.2% when people are in person. But it's like, how do you even know that? What do you base it on? What are you actually looking at? What is the data set? How do you measure productivity? Like what is the data in that?
I don't know. Yeah, it's not like they can count the widgets you've made.
Outside of hours. Like the only thing I can, we count hours. Well, that's not necessarily productive. When I worked at the office, I would go disappear for an hour and a half walking around the city. Sometimes I'd go home when we were doing the podcast after the radio show, and the radio show had just gone to middays. I used to leave the office, get on the train, go home, do the podcast, or if I had my segment, do my segment, and then go back to the office. Now, most people maybe can't do that. I know living in New York and the office was in a different place and I was in a different apartment, but still, it was a few stops away. So if I lived in Atlanta or I worked in Atlanta, I had to drive to, Kennesaw. I was like, all right, it's not the same. I probably couldn't pull that off. But in general, I got my work done. Yeah. Everything was fine. We were all in the office and I was still fucking around.
But even if you didn't leave, you still fuck around on computers and, people found lots of ways to fuck around.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can't shut up. Anyway, we know we're just,
People they weren't working 8 hours a day in the office. No. I'm just sick of the hour thing. Get rid of it. It's an outdated concept.
It is.
If you're working retail or something where, yes, you put in your hours.
Right. That makes more sense.
But if you're hired, you're salaried, you were brought on to do a job, just fucking drop it.
Yeah.
Some people like to work more. Let those people work more. I think that somebody works 60 hours a week in the field I'm in. It's pretty ridiculous. But, some people are avoiding things in their lives. Who knows what's going on with them?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. If it works, then go for it. If it works for you, do that. If you're tired of if your kids are at home because they're homeschooled and your wife is there and it's annoying, leave. Go to the office. Great. 3 days a week. Perfect. If you like getting out of the house because it makes you feel like a productive person instead of just being at home all day, good. Go.
Which I should.
That's wonderful.
I do think being at home, and because I work in the bedroom, Christina works upstairs. Like I even have my setup upstairs with the microphone where I do the radio show. But right now I'm in Christina's not even here. She went to her parents last night, and I still set up the other microphone, and I'm standing where I do my work at my dresser in my bedroom. And you sleep in your room. It's like, yeah, look, I'm in this room constantly, and I don't actually think that's a good thing. Right. I spend so much time in this room. I probably should go to the office, but that's my choice, and I'm just lazy. Also, the day starts, you start working, like, oh, well, whatever. I should maybe just. I've never been good at putting schedules together. I have this idea. It's like, I would like to be the kind of person who on Tuesdays gets up, goes to the gym, comes home, has this breakfast, does my work. Fuck you. I never. My brain hates that. Don't tell me what to do. Don't box me in. So instead, just stay in your fucking room and stare at screens all day and play Monopoly Go.
But again, you would play Monopoly Go?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Sometimes I play Monopoly Go.
How is that? Do you spend money on it?
No.
Okay. I've been seeing ads for it and it's working. I want to play it.
There used to be a big cheat for Monopoly Go called airplane mode where because it's not a random game, surprise, the dice rolls are planned out in advance. And so they have multipliers when you roll the dice. Like you can roll 1 dice at a time, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100. And then there's certain short set periods where you can roll up to 1,000 dice at a time. But most people don't have that many dice. Point is, in the past, you could put your phone in airplane mode. So it wasn't connected to the internet. Therefore, it wasn't connected to the Monopoly Go server. And you could roll you would just roll and write down what number popped up on those dice until the phone realized you weren't, or the game realized you weren't online, and it said you need to reconnect. You'd then exit out, delete the app, reload it so none of that information would read when you reconnected the internet. So it would go back to where you started when you first put your phone in airplane mode, and you would have a list of the dice rolls coming up. So you could look at the board and say, well, the next roll coming up is a 7, and 7 gets me to this spot that I want to be in. So you would use the 100 multiplier and not waste
just know ahead of time.
your dice, and there you could game it. And like I have like 80,000 dice. People online, and now I've admitted how much I've played this game, and it's kind of sad listening to myself. But people online get really pissed, like, yeah, you're cheaters. It's like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't affect you. Like,
yeah, what is it? Like you've gotten further in life and I haven't cheated and you have?
Yeah, there's some events, I guess,
game.
where you compete against other people, but that's rare. It's few and far in between in this game. So it's like, what do you really care? They got rid of that, though. So now when you put the phone in airplane mode, it immediately says, you're offline. So then I started connecting to internet only, taking it out of, cell mode, so it wasn't using data.
Yeah.
And then I would unplug my router because and then I would just wait because it gave me more time. So I would unplug my router and still write down all of the different numbers that were coming up. Then they changed it so the dice, the number that you roll changes depending on the multiplier. So it effectively killed that process.
Dang it.
But you can still, if you have 2 devices, so if you have an iPad and your phone, you can open the game on both, and you can set it to, say, 100 multiplier, and you put that phone, because you can get 1 roll in before it says you're offline. So you quickly turn off Wi-Fi on one device, and you roll, and you see what you get. And if it's something you like, then you can either reconnect or you roll on your other device with that multiplier.
Right.
If you don't like it, on your other thing, you roll like 1 dice so you don't waste your dice. And then you close the app on the device that you went into airplane mode.
I'm a little bit lost, but that's okay.
I could walk you through it one day. So there's still a way to game it.
Yeah.
And they're cracking down and they're trying to come up with ways. But yeah, I play it because I have trillions of dollars and 85,000 dice. Because otherwise it is kind of bullshit. Like, you don't get that many dice. The most dice you can get, I think you start with 50. This is insane that I'm talking about this now. But you can start with like 50 dice, and once you're done with 50, you have to wait hours. I think you get like 10 dice an hour to rebuild.
Okay.
And there are certain things that give you dice in the game, and sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get to build that up. But you're going to run out of dice. And to get any of the good prizes, like there's sticker sets, and you need to get these sticker packs. And if you were playing it, you really would have to spend, because their prices are fucking insane. It's like, you want 400 dice? Give us $49. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck you.
I'm remembering why I know this game is because I watch this financial person on YouTube, and he goes crazy when people like have missed payments on credit card debt and stuff, or overdrafts, but then he sees that their Apple things have been used for Monopoly Go. He's like, you're an idiot.
I can't believe that people would just even pay that, though. Like, it's funny. Yes, they should be paying their debts back, but in general, it's like a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
And, it's another thing people get pissed at online, too. Oh, people pay. Well, like, if they want to pay, it's offered to them. You can't get angry. I agree.
I paid for dumb
your
things.
claw
with that,
game.
Yeah, that claw game. I did. So the last time I downloaded it, I didn't do too bad. Like, I didn't spend too much money on it, and I did win a lot. Like, I was doing really well, but I did delete it because I was spending money on it. But I didn't go as crazy as last time.
If you play Monopoly Go, I'll teach you the tricks.
Okay.
The trick of the trade. I stay up with it, and I play it every now and then. If Christina were listening to this, she'd say every now and then. Like, probably.
Constantly.
It's not constantly, but there are periods when, because once I get going, you'll get certain things. It's like I said, there's a multiplier where you can roll like 1,000 dice at a time. So if you're landing on things, like you get a lot of fucking rewards. Mm-hmm. And once you start getting a lot of rewards, you get more of that high roller time. So I get in these zones where it's like, I got 30 minutes where I have to use this because it expires in 30 minutes. I'm sitting here playing this game. So maybe going to the office would be a good thing because I couldn't bring... I could play the game on one device, but if I set up two devices, like, what are you fucking doing? You got an iPad here and an iPhone, and you're playing Monopoly?
I guess that's the productivity that they're talking about.
Again, I do my job.
You could do that at work.
I do my job and I do it well. And I'm not spending... Monopoly is really more of a morning thing. And then sometimes right before I go to sleep. And sometimes during the day. Sometimes. Look, I take my lunch break. Instead of eating, I play Monopoly Go. I'll get tired of it. I go through... I was playing that dumb golf game. Golf Rival.
What about that one with the guy with the...
I stopped. Homescapes, I get tired.
Whoa, you stopped?
I was so far into that game. I
know.
Thousands of levels, but I realized that it just goes on and on and on and on and on forever, and you continue to move to new houses and shit like that, and you have to fix them up. But I was spending some money there. Not a shitload, but it adds up over time.
Too much.
Like over time, it's like hundreds of dollars. It's like a $2 purchase, $4 purchase. But once I did some math, and I also that's not a likable character, that bald cunt.
Well,
that's what they call him online. on
I read that cunt is actually a more appropriate term than vagina.
Is it?
Yes, because in ancient Roman, vagina was the word used for the sheath that would hold your sword or your dagger and stuff. It'd be like the knife holder. And that's where the man, puts his knife, is in the vagina. Mm. And cunt has an origin in words like kindness and connection. And there's like a bunch of other words that have like a C or a K sort of sound to them. I can't remember all the words that in the etymology of that part, but it was more like community based, like good things that came from this etymology of cunt. And of course it was turned into something negative to call something or someone. And the men who made vagina the word, right, is because they're men. And so it's like they were the ones that said, this is the word.
That's interesting. But these days it's a pretty offensive word. It hits hard. I think that's why it works. Like, it's a pretty hard hitting word.
I like the, it just has a hard k sound, but like, I like
and
the,
a hard at the end.
Oh, the cunt. Yeah, it has good hard
It's like punching someone.
Yeah, it's, I like the Australian version of it, where it's like, oh, you can't, come on. You always a right cunt. But they're like being silly. They're like being fun.
Well, I was just quoting what people call Austin, the bald guy from Homescapes.
I know.
Like I forgot his name and I typed in Homescapes bald character. And the first thing that pops up, I truly hope a sinkhole swallows Austin, the bald coward. They didn't say cunt, but under that, it's just... It's just, does anyone feel that Austin is a loser, the bald cunt, the most hated person in the game, the bald cunt?
Why do they not like him? Because I thought that he was just a guy.
It's a weird main character. Like, he's not really cool. He's got that sideways earmuff going with the hair. He lives with his parents. Like the
I thought
idea
his
is
parents were dead, and that's why he was like fixing the house.
no, he moved back with him. I think that's a different one. That was like
Oh.
Lily's Garden or something. The aunt
okay.
died. It's like they're all the same game. But he's done. There was a point where he found the old car in the garage and he was fixing it up. You play the game and you get the points needed to fix up the car. And it was his dad's car, and his dad was scared to drive it because he got in an accident and he had
Right.
PTSD. And Austin's like, "You're going to drive this, Dad. I don't give a shit. I'm going to force you to drive this car, even though it scares you." And he says, "Please, I don't want to drive the car." And things like that happen. And, there's a neighbor that he's clearly got a crush on, but he never.
Oh, the lady.
He never does anything about it. And she should never date him anyway. But anytime there's the opportunity, he backs down. So yeah, he's annoying.
Okay.
The
I mean, what do
bone.
you want? You want him to like bone her so that you can
No, I
like
just want.
finally he gets some.
I don't. I'm not. No. How dare you? I just want them to like express their feelings for each other and like hang out and actually enjoy it and maybe get something emotionally from it. And then if he gets some, great. But that's not the reason.
Well, I just mean, wouldn't it be nice if they? Oh my gosh, was the neighbor? Was she the one that has like the kid in the cold room, and you have to close the window for them?
I think it's a different game, but yes, I've seen her used as that character before. Yes,
Yeah.
but in the game, she doesn't have a kid in Homescapes. I wish that were a real game.
Yeah, because those games are really just matching games, right? And those little extra things are not. That's not really the game.
Well, the fake ads that they
Yeah.
use, they started incorporating a few into the game, and it was under the guise of Austin Has a Nightmare. And
Oh.
like they were poorly designed. You could tell they were shoehorned in. And it was probably because some regulator said, "You can't, this is false advertising." So like, no, it's actually part of the game now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the shivering mom and daughter and the busted up house.
They have to close the door.
Yeah, I wish I could play that game. It's like, I'll fix the window for you. I'll get you some heat. I'll make you feel nice. Not that way. Don't go there.
Yeah, and then I'll take you as
That's
my
not.
wife.
That's not what I'm saying.
I'll treat your kid right. I don't know who this guy is who just left you in this home with no windows.
Make it
Oh,
sound
before
so
we
much
end, we have to
worse.
talk about Folie à deux.
No, I already talked about that on the radio show. People need to hear my thoughts.
I need to know.
I'll tell you. We'll talk. I'll end
You
it.
didn't talk about it enough, though, did you?
On the show, on the radio show. I
Maybe
gave
I
you my
missed that
thoughts.
day. Was I not there?
We're also at an hour 7, so.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
No, you weren't there. I don't know where you
That's
were,
right.
but you
wasn't
disappeared.
there.
You weren't on the show that day. So,
Probably dealing with some shit.
so my conclusion is maybe the workplace is where I belong. I realize I said that I read this online. That's what they call them online. Online, people get angry at the people who use airplane mode. Online this, online that. And it's like, oh, I'm clearly on Reddit too much these days. I'm that person. It's time to get rid of the phone and throw it out the window, or at least, try to limit the amount of time that I'm just looking at God knows what. Why the fuck am I reading a Monopoly Go subreddit? Who fucking cares? Play the game. But I like to see other people complain and get angry at the same things I get angry about.
Well, I mean, is that how you found out about the
The cheat.
the cheat?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And then I read everyone else saying, "How dare you? I would never cheat." It's like, all right, good. Take your ethics and morals. Hope it gets
Yeah.
you far in life. Ain't going to get you far in the game, I'll tell you that.
Right. You'll just be sitting back with your million rolls of dice.
I could have more. Sometimes I get lazy because I don't want to do the back and forth with the two devices, so I just start rolling 100 at a time and I waste dice. But 85,000 is fine.
Yeah, that's
plenty.
a lot. How many do people have? 10?
Yeah, I think they start you out with like 50 or something.
Yeah.
So you can only roll multiples of one, else you're going to blow through your dice. The prizes you get are limited severely because the amount of points you need to get to the high prizes is fucking insane. So they set it up. They made it a model where in order to get the top stuff, you're going to have to pay. So, of course, people are going to say, I found another way.
Right.
And then the game can kind of try to combat that. But if you, like, say, raise the number of points it takes to get to the top prizes, you're going to alienate all the people who play it the right way. Like, it's already hard enough for them. So, kind of got these greedy bastards up against a wall. It's like, try to get rid of us. You get rid of us, you're going to get rid of everyone. And then you're going to have nothing. Scopely. Sorry. How much you make off of this game a year? Charging people $50 for 400 virtual dice. You should look in the mirror and say, I'm a piece of shit. Like, what am I doing?
If they pay for it, then I guess that's capitalism.
Sure. Somewhere in my brain, I think you make it cheaper, you actually make more money in the long run, because like Homescapes, the $2, $3, $5 was top of the line for me. It's like, I'm spending $5. That's kind of a bit, but I could justify it. It's like, if I went to an arcade, I'd be paying. But $40, it's like, I'm not paying $40 for a stupid online game. You get the impulse buy if you lower the price, but I guess it's giving too much away. We've done our research, just like everyone's done the research about the return to office. We've done our research about what to charge.
We have studies
for our dice. Fucking crazy. Okay, you can wrap it up.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later. Talk to you next week. Bye.